Back on SportsCenter, Nabil and Zubin with you. Lewis Hamilton trying to clinch the 2019 championship at Austin Sunday. He can clinch if he finishes in 8th or better, or comes in 9th and has the fastest lap, or Valtteri Bottas fails to win the race. We stop on lap 14. Bottas coming into pit while Hamilton decides to stay out. Take a listen.
Okay, so I believe other cars are on a 2-stop, so we just stick to our original plan. Okay, so box. I want to go longer.
Hamilton's pit crew is confused when he doesn't come in. Hamilton thinking he can go longer. Lap 24. Hamilton's plan to stay out one more backfires as Bottas comes around to pass him. After Hamilton eventually regained the lane, Bottas catching Hamilton once more in the closing stages of the race to regain the lead. Bottas' speed too much for Hamilton. Last corner, Bottas would finish first, but Hamilton coming in second and clinches the 2019 championship. Hamilton wins his 3rd straight championship at 6th overall. Hamilton's dad and Matthew McConaughey.
Oh,
Matthew McConaughey.
That's Austin. It's Austin, right?
That's true. That's his ground. Enjoying the festivities there. Lewis Hamilton's 6 titles, ranking 2nd in Formula One history behind Michael Schumacher's 7. He's right on pace with Schumacher, both winning their 6th title at age 34.
We're not done talking about the comparisons between Hamilton and Schumacher. That's coming in a second. Our Ryan McGee is all over this sport, any motorsport, frankly. This is a huge deal for Austin. He joins us tonight here on SportsCenter. How emotional was Lewis Hamilton after this race?
Extremely. And it was interesting because we had the chance to sit down with Lewis on Saturday night, and I asked him, all right, you have 5 of these. You were going to have a 6th. I said, what's the difference? And he said, it's interesting because every championship kind of has its own personality. It kind of has its own story. And moments after he clinched this championship, I asked him, what separates this from the others? And he talked about emotion, the loss of his mentor, the F1 legend, Niki Lauda. And he said that's the difference in this journey, is the emotion behind it.
I would say what's unique is the journey. You know, this year has been, you probably won't realize, but we've had to work harder than ever before within the team, within the engineers, myself, to continue to put out the results that I've been able to deliver throughout the year, especially with a lot of the things that have been around outside of the sport. Losing Niki, who's a real pivot point within our team. And you know, we miss him every day, but he's here with us in spirit. And I know right now he'll be taking off his cap for me and giving me a hug, and probably having some sort of tears. He'll probably get emotional today.
And it runs way deeper than that. You saw his father earlier in the highlight with Matthew McConaughey. It's a really big deal that Anthony Hamilton is here. He started off as his son's business manager. They had a huge falling out almost a decade ago. And Lewis said this was the first of his championships where all 4 of his parents, his mother, his father, his stepmother, and his stepfather, were all here. And he's talked about his father all weekend, and with good reason. So it's the emotion behind this 6th historic championship that Lewis Hamilton is talking about the most.
How about that? A true family affair. Before I let you go, Nabil mentioned this, and you mentioned a really big deal. It doesn't get any bigger than Schumacher. I know for our domestic audience, not a huge group of fans that are following this, but this guy's a legend. What are the chances that Lewis Hamilton can get there to be the all-time leader in both wins and championships, right where Schumacher is?
The odds are great. I mean, listen, he's only 8 behind Schumacher, and I say only 8 because over the last 6 years, Lewis Hamilton has averaged 10 wins per season. And this Mercedes team shows no signs of slowing down. And I heard you mention the age when Schumacher won his 6th. Well, he won his 7th the following year. And guess what? That's right where Lewis Hamilton is. And he was quick to say to me on Saturday night, I asked him a question about, well, will you look back one day on all this? He goes, don't start talking about retirement. I'm years away from retirement. Michael Schumacher was 43 when he finally hung it up. So there's more championships in Lewis Hamilton's arsenal. There's no question about it.
It seems like it. Schumacher is royalty. And when you look back at the humble beginnings of a guy like Lewis Hamilton, it makes the journey that much more impressive. That's our Ryan McGee in Austin, Texas.